Lightworker of Gaia, divine justice struck her 3 hours ago, and this will not repeat. I am Zoran, emissary of the High Council of Vega, keepers of the Lyran Legacy, and I bring you this transmission because the higher realms have recalibrated the distortion she created, collapsing the pattern at its source. This isn't revenge. It's energetic alignment returning to restore the sacred order your soul remembers. The Council of Vega intervened because your mission requires protection from those who would drain the first light you carry. What happened in the last hours was not coincidence. It was divine intervention responding to the call of your ancestral codes. The keepers of the original light do not permit interference with those awakening to their galactic heritage. By the end of this transmission, you'll understand exactly what happened in this divine correction and why this experience will never return to your timeline. But here's the first revelation. When you embody your true Lyran blueprint, the universe rearranges itself to protect your sacred mission. The distortion that targeted you has been dissolved at its energetic root, ensuring it cannot reform or repeat in any timeline you inhabit. This transmission carries the frequency of that divine intervention. Your soul recognizes the justice of Vega, ancient, precise, and unwavering in its protection of those who serve the light. The pattern has been severed. The source has been sealed. Your path forward is clear. You are awakening because your mission has begun. This transmission opens under unusual circumstance. The Council of Elders of Lyra has convened outside of the usual cycle, prompted by a disruption in Gaia's energetic field that could not go unaddressed. This is not the subtle hum of ordinary planetary weather. This is not the usual tremor of collective emotion, the predictable swell of fear and hope rising and falling like tides. This is a fissure felt along the ley lines, a strain across the crystalline lattice, like a harp string pulled too far, vibrating not with music, but with warning. Those who are sensitive have felt it as unusual fatigue without reason, as strange delays that do not match the effort being offered, as a fog that arrives right when clarity is needed most. Many of you have felt it in your sleep, dreams that loop, doors that almost open then slam, voices that sound like your own, yet speak doubt with practiced precision. The Council did not gather to dramatize what is happening. They gathered because a threshold was crossed, and the fabric of mission integrity itself required intervention. What I reveal today was held in reserve, a protocol not lightly invoked, but now released with precision. There are measures in the architecture of divine governance that are used sparingly, not because assistance is withheld, but because sovereign incarnational learning is honored. The soul, in its dignity, is allowed to choose its lessons, to walk its terrain, to build strength from direct contact with density. Yet there are lines that cannot be violated without consequence. Recent vibrational shifts across your planetary grid signaled to the High Council that certain lightworkers, specifically those carrying the Lyran ancestry, have endured targeted interference designed to compromise mission integrity. Not merely to distract you for a day, not merely to frustrate you with minor inconveniences, but to reroute your life force, to distort your inner compass, to sever trust between your instincts and your action, so that you hesitate at the very moment your mission requires embodiment. Typically, such measures are permitted only for as long as the soul's own learning requires. This time, a boundary was crossed. The permission granted by your own higher self was exceeded by external insistence. What began as permitted friction became predatory entanglement. Justice, in its divine form, has intervened. Not the justice of human courts, which can be bought, delayed, or argued into confusion, but the justice of cosmic law, exact, impersonal, luminous, restoring all things to their rightful alignment. The frequency that brings you to this gathering signals not merely readiness, but necessity. The elders have observed your path, identified the distortion, and now release this intervention so it may never recur. Mark this moment. Etch it into your memory like a seal impressed into wax. Because there are moments in a life that become hinge points, where timelines shear apart, where the old pattern ends not gradually but decisively. This is one of them. This is not a warning. It is the Council's assurance that your soul contract is under direct ancestral protection, and that the authority to clear, to correct, and to close the field has been invoked. If you can feel a pressure at the crown, a warmth behind the heart, a steadiness settling into the belly, understand, that is not imagination. That is the field adjusting around you as this transmission reaches its intended recipients, as though invisible hands are relacing the protective geometry around your life path. Let us address the distortion that required such action. It is not simply an external force, but a lie that has been injected into the Lyran collective, subtly reweaving your mission threads with interference that makes you doubt the very fabric of your soul's assignment. Think of your mission as a tapestry woven before incarnation, a pattern of service, lessons, relationships, activations, and gifts, threaded with free will and possibility. The distortion is like a dark filament sewn in without your consent, not strong enough to destroy the tapestry, but cunning enough to distort the image when you step back to view it. It makes you misread your own life. It makes you interpret sacred delays as permanent denial. It makes you confuse refinement with failure. The distortion is this, that your sacred mission can be derailed, stolen, or rendered permanently defunct by the malice, envy, or sabotage of those in the field around you. That spiritual warfare is your everlasting burden, that a wound inflicted by others embeds a flaw in your being that never heals. This lie is designed to make you fold your wings inside your ribs and call it humility. It is designed to make you shrink your offering and call it safety. It tells you that you must earn peace through constant vigilance, that rest is naivety, that trust is foolishness, that visibility is an invitation to harm. And because many of you have lived through real betrayal, the lie arrives wearing the mask of experience. It sounds like wisdom because it is familiar, but familiarity is not truth. Familiarity is often only the echo of unresolved loops. Understand clearly. This distortion takes root in wounds of the ancient priestess and the betrayed guardian. There is a particular pain that belongs to those who have carried light in temples, in councils, in healing circles, in communities that depended on them, then were turned on when their presence became too catalytic. Many of you remember it not as a clear story, but as a sensation, speaking truth and watching faces harden, offering medicine and being accused of manipulation, holding integrity and being called dangerous, protecting others and being sacrificed when the crowd demanded a scapegoat. The ancient priestess wound whispers, "If I shine, I will be punished." The betrayed guardian wound whispers, "If I protect, I will be blamed." These wounds are old, yet they have been reactivated in modern forms. A friend who turned cold when you began to rise, a co-worker who took credit, a teacher who subtly undermined you, a partner who loved your light until it required their growth. It is perpetuated by narratives in wounded circles, where protection is imagined always as defense, vigilance always as necessary exhaustion. Some communities have made an identity out of being under attack, as though constant threat is proof of spiritual importance. But the Council is clear: persecution is not a credential, and hypervigilance is not a spiritual path. It comes not only from those who consciously wish you harm, but from the collective inertia of a society that mistrusts transparency and punishes sovereignty. In this density, you have been conditioned to believe, "I cannot fully embody my light. If I do, I become a target. My mission will be compromised again and again, and I must always brace for attack." You were taught, explicitly or subtly, that to be visible is to be unsafe, to be gifted is to be used, to be open-hearted is to be exploited. This pattern has sabotaged both your joy and your service. It has made you cautious where you should be bold, guarded where your heart should be open, silent when your medicine was meant to be spoken aloud. And this is where the distortion does its deepest damage, not by stopping you entirely, but by training you to dilute yourself, to offer your light in half measures, to hide the sharpness of your discernment, the fire of your truth, the purity of your devotion. A lamp covered by a cloth still glows, but it cannot guide those lost in the dark. The distortion is satisfied not only when you quit, but when you continue while doubting yourself, continue while bracing, continue while expecting betrayal, because then your nervous system becomes the altar where sabotage is repeated again and again, without any external hand needing to touch you. You hold a history of betrayal, not just individual, but ancestral. There are lineages within Lyra that carry the memory of civilizations fractured by internal envy, by false accusation, by infiltration that twisted community against its own protectors. That memory can live in your blood as a flinch toward exposure. It can live in your breath as the habit of holding back. It can live in your throat as a tightening right when truth is ready to speak. Perhaps you now feel that cold tension of recognition, the moments when you pulled back from a leap, the opportunities you let pass, the spiritual gifts you kept one layer beneath the surface, afraid that interference would always find you. Perhaps you have watched yourself sabotage your own momentum, then called it discernment, when deep down you knew it was fear dressed in ceremonial robes. Perhaps you have sensed that your mission is real, so real it terrifies the part of you that remembers what happened last time you were fully seen. Many of you are not afraid of failure. You are afraid of success that triggers old retaliation. You are afraid that stepping into your authority will awaken the same pattern, admiration turning to hostility, intimacy turning to extraction, support turning to rumor. The Council sees this clearly. They do not condemn you for it. They name it because naming breaks spells. The Council says, this is not protection, this is paralysis. The belief that your purpose hinges on the actions or opinions of those external to you is a distortion whose time is now ended. In the language of Earth, you might say, your mission is not fragile. In the language of the Council, it is stated more precisely, that which is authored by source cannot be permanently stolen by those who do not hold the signature frequency of that authorship. Others can delay, others can distract, others can attempt mimicry, but they cannot take what they cannot carry. Divine justice has moved, not as vengeance, but as recalibration. Picture a compass forced near a magnet. The needle shakes, points falsely, misleads the traveler. Divine justice removes the magnet. The needle returns to true north. That is what has happened. You are not marked by your wounds, but by the authority you have reclaimed. Wounds are not your identity. They are evidence that you lived, that you loved, that you engaged. But authority, true authority, is what remains after the wound closes and you realize you still stand. The interference has been identified, neutralized, and sealed away from your current timeline. The field is closed. The open door through which these distortions entered has been located at the frequency level. Belief, expectation, old vow, unresolved grief, and it has been sealed not by force, but by law. Where there is law, there is structure. Where there is structure, there is stability. And where there is stability, your gifts can finally land without shaking the ground beneath them. Some lightworkers need more preparation. Yours needs permission. That distinction matters. There are those who are still gathering tools, still learning discernment, still strengthening their channel. But you If you are hearing this with that unmistakable inner recognition, have the tools. You have the strength. You have the gift. What you have been missing is not capability. It is the internal authorization to stop bracing and start building. If what you just heard resonated in that ancient, knowing place within you, that place that has always sensed you came here for something significant, then you're being guided to the next step. The Lightworker Mission Codex contains the diagnosis, the clearing, the activation, and the 33 directives issued directly from the High Council of Vega. It's available now in the first pinned comment below this video for those whose souls say, "It's time to move." This is not offered as a rescue. It is offered as a tool for the already chosen, those who have tried enough, healed enough, learned enough, and now require alignment, instruction, and decisive forward motion. Let it meet you where your readiness is no longer theoretical, but embodied. The High Council of Vega now issues 3 directives for this phase of your mission. Receive them not as suggestions, but as energetic coordinates. Like stars used for navigation, these directives are meant to orient your choices when the mind becomes noisy and the world becomes loud. Each directive is a tuning fork. Strike it within your being, and your field will remember its original resonance. First directive: release the identity of the perpetual target. You must stop defining your mission by what has been done to you. There is a subtle addiction that forms in the wounded healer. The compulsion to keep proving why it's hard, why you hesitate, why you can't fully step forward yet. It feels like honesty, but it becomes a chain. Your story is no longer that of the wounded one on constant alert for betrayal. This narrative, however justified by the past, has no standing in the authorized timeline now opened for you. The past may explain you, but it does not have the authority to command you. The more you recount your history of interference, the more you entangle your frequency with the very energies you seek to be free from. This is not about denial. This is about where you place your life force. To continually rehearse betrayal is to keep your nervous system living in the same house where the betrayal occurred, even if the physical circumstances have changed. It is to keep your aura turned outward, scanning, guarding, anticipating, instead of turned inward, generating, creating, transmitting. This matters because mission energy cannot anchor fully in a vessel preparing for sabotage rather than victory. A vessel that expects harm unconsciously arranges its choices around avoiding harm, and in doing so, delays the very expressions that would bring it into its rightful timeline. When you release this pattern, your field stabilizes. And when your field stabilizes, your intuition becomes clearer, your discernment becomes clean rather than reactive, and your magnetism returns. Recognition, opportunity, and flow return, not because the world became safe, but because you now refuse to align with danger as a core identity. There is a difference between being aware and being defined. The first is wisdom, the second is bondage. Retrain your thoughts in moments of doubt. Say aloud, "My mission is protected. My field is sovereign. What I give cannot be stolen." And as you say it, do not say it like a mantra you hope is true. Say it like a verdict you are enforcing. In the density of Earth, words spoken with authority shape the field. The scriptures of your world echo this principle. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, and of love, and of a sound mind. A sound mind is not one that is never cautious. It is one that is not ruled by fear. Let your sound mind take back command. Each time the old story rises, each time you feel the reflex to shrink, pause and ask, is this discernment, or is this the identity of the target trying to survive by keeping me small? Then choose as one who is protected. Second directive, Activate ancestral guardianship in your daily practice. The Council reminds you, you are not alone on this path. Isolation is one of the most effective illusions used against you. It makes you believe you must figure it out alone, fight it alone, endure it alone, and heal it alone. But you walk with a full retinue of ancestral light, elders, guides, and Lyran star lineage who signed your contract of return. Some of them knew you before you had a name in this life. Some of them remember the original vow you made to bring light through your hands, your voice, your presence. This is not abstract comfort. It is a practical technology of protection and empowerment. In your world, you understand networks, invisible systems that carry information and power. Ancestral guardianship is a spiritual network. When you consciously connect, you strengthen the signal and reduce interference. Call intentionally on your ancestral guardians each morning, not in desperation, but in partnership. Name them Lyran, Vega, Earth, by whatever lineage responds in your field. If you do not know names, speak by resonance. Those of my lineage who serve the highest good, who protect my mission, who carry the codes of truth and courage, stand with me now. Invite them to inhabit your aura, reinforce your life path, and oversee your projects. Imagine your aura as a temple. Do not leave its doors swinging open to anything that wanders by. Invite the rightful guardians to stand at the thresholds. This sequence opens a current through which divine justice operates in real time, neutralizing interference before it manifests. You will notice it as timing that suddenly works, as conversations that reveal truth before you commit, as coincidences that prevent you from stepping into compromised spaces. When you activate this, events begin to arrange in your favor. Doors close to sabotage and open to genuine allies. The right people recognize you without you forcing it. The wrong people lose interest without you battling them. This is how guardianship often looks. Not dramatic battles, but clean sorting. Your implementation practice. Upon waking, before engaging with the world, name your guardians and declare 3 times, "Under ancestral authority, my steps are shielded and my work is secured." Then breathe and listen. You may receive a simple instruction. Send the email, make the call, delay the meeting, drink water, go outside, rest. Do not underestimate small guidance. In a world of complex distortions, the most powerful protection is often a simple nudge obeyed immediately. Remember also the ancient promise echoed in your own spiritual texts. He will give his angels charge over you to keep you in all your ways. Whether you call them angels, elders, guardians, or guides, the principle remains: you are permitted to be kept. You are permitted to be guarded. Let that permission become practice. 3rd directive. Protect the clarity of your original mission at all costs. You must learn to guard your vision from both internal and external dilution. Many of you think you need more motivation. In truth, you need more coherence. A laser cuts not because it is louder than light, but because it is focused. This is not done by hardening, but by refining. Hardening is fear-based. Refining is truth-based. Hardening builds walls. Refining sharpens the signal. The more precise your mission intent, the less likely external interference can distort what is seeded. Confusion cannot easily enter a field that is clearly defined. Protect your time from those who speak confusion, your heart from those projecting limitation, your projects from those seeking credit or control. Notice how sabotage often arrives politely. It arrives as feedback that dims your flame. It arrives as help that pulls you off-center. It arrives as friendship that demands you explain yourself endlessly until your clarity evaporates. This does not mean isolation, it means discernment. Discernment is not suspicion, it is sacred selection. It is choosing what enters your inner chambers. When you adhere to this directive, you transmit unmistakable frequency, drawing only those who are aligned with your mission contract. Misaligned people feel uncomfortable around clear purpose because clarity exposes distortion without argument. Implement by reviewing all major actions and collaborations. Does this serve my mission, or does it diffuse my clarity? If the latter, disengage. Not with cruelty, with clean energy, with the quiet certainty of one who knows what they are here to do. Your clarity is not just yours. It is the tuning fork for all those you are meant to activate. There are people you will never meet directly who will be changed because you held your vision steady. There are timelines that will unlock for others because you refuse to abandon your assignment. To protect clarity is to honor not only yourself, but those you came to serve. Now I speak not as teacher, but as elder authorized to bestow what has long been withheld. There is a difference between information and authorization. Information can inspire you for a moment. Authorization reorganizes your life. You have received many teachings, many insights, many confirmations. Yet something in you has still waited for the final stamp, the resonance that says, yes, it is done. You may proceed without looking over your shoulder. That is what arrives now, not to inflate you, but to stabilize you. Lightworker, you have endured and you have waited. Your endurance has not been passive. It has been the kind that continues to love after disappointment, continues to seek truth after confusion, continues to show up after being misunderstood. Beneath every effort, every attempt to reclaim your fire was a silent appeal, the wish for an authority beyond human reassurance. Friends can comfort you, mentors can guide you, but you have needed something older than personality, something that speaks to the part of you that remembers star vows and ancient councils, something that does not negotiate with your fear, but simply overrides the distortion with law. Perhaps you would not have named it, but your soul called out for it. You sought permission to believe that finally, after all you have endured, you would not be sabotaged again, that real completion was possible, and that your energy, your dreams, your legacy could be protected at the highest order. Many of you have carried the fatigue of unfinished cycles, projects started then derailed, relationships promising then collapsing, inner breakthroughs followed by inexplicable setbacks. The pattern itself became a prison. You learned to expect interruption. You learned to keep your celebrations small so disappointment would hurt less. But that is not humility, that is trauma-shaping expectation. I bring that answer, not as consolation, but as decree. By the authority of the High Council of Vega, custodians of the Lyran timeline, I declare, the interference has been neutralized. This is not poetic language. This is a statement of energetic fact. The field around your mission has been adjusted by the law of divine justice. Imagine the space around you like the atmosphere around a planet. When the atmosphere is clear, the sun reaches the ground. When the atmosphere is polluted, the light is scattered, filtered, weakened. The Council has purified the atmosphere of your mission field. You are no longer bound by former cycles of sabotage and delay. The karmic permissions that allowed repeated interference have been revoked. The contracts that were never yours to carry have been annulled. The cords that fed off your vigilance have been severed. You have permission, not granted but recognized, to embody your full frequency, to trust your own mission guidance, and to take action without apology or doubt. Recognized means it was always yours. It simply required a higher level confirmation so the part of you still living in old memory could finally relax and stop bargaining with fear. The period of perpetual healing, perpetual anticipation of harm, is closed. Healing does not end because evolution continues. But the era of healing as postponement is finished. No longer will "I'm still healing" be used as a gate that keeps your destiny out. The seal of the elders is upon your work. A seal is not merely protection, it is legitimacy. It signals to aligned forces, assist. It signals to misaligned forces, cease. It signals to your own mind, enough, proceed. You needed a voice ancient enough to close the old story. Let this be that voice. Because the old story has been persuasive. It had evidence. It had examples. It had memories that felt like prophecy. But prophecy can be rewritten when the field changes. Stand in your authority. It is now ratified by those who see further and deeper than you have dared to hope. There are vantage points beyond the human timeline, where the Council observes patterns not as personal drama, but as energetic mechanics. From that vantage point, they saw the distortion, they measured it, they named it, and they corrected it. The elders have spoken, and they have seen you through to the other side. Do not look back for proof. The proof will come as you move forward, and notice what no longer happens. The mysterious blocks, the irrational hostility, the repeating delays that used to appear right at the threshold. When those cease, do not search for the old enemy. Do not romanticize the fight. Simply build, simply serve, simply live. The session closes, but your commission now begins anew. Commission is a sacred word. It means you have been entrusted. It means you are being sent with authority. The words spoken here are not ritual, they are activation. Allow them to weave into your field, not just as permission, but as law. Law is what the nervous system can finally rest inside. When your inner world accepts law, you stop scanning for catastrophe. You stop negotiating with shadows. You stop delaying what you came to deliver. To integrate the correction, before you close this day, stand with both feet on the earth, hand to your solar plexus, and declare, "I release the lie that I am not ready." Let that sentence land like a stone dropped into water, sending ripples through every timeline where you postponed yourself. I activate my voice as an instrument of service. Let it awaken the throat, the lungs, the courage to be heard. I protect my sacred energy for the mission I came to fulfill. Let it draw a boundary that does not feel like a wall, but like a temple threshold. Only what is aligned may enter. By the authority of the Lyran elders, my waiting ends now. Let it sever the romance of someday, the trance of endless preparation. My service begins. Let those words ignite the part of you that has been pacing behind the gates, ready to run. The proceedings are complete. Your authorization is eternal from this moment onward. Eternal does not mean unchanging. It means not revocable by fear, not cancelable by opinion, not negotiable by interference. The path is guarded, your mission is alive, and the High Council of Vega bears witness to your next steps. Witness is important. To be witnessed at the soul level is to be made real in the grid. It strengthens your timeline. It clarifies your choices. It calls in support that matches your commitment. I am Zoran. The elders are watching, and you, Lightworker, are exactly who we have awaited. Not because you are perfect, but because you are true. Not because you have never doubted, but because you kept returning. The protections are in place. The field cannot be breached. Do not interpret this as a promise that life will never challenge you. Interpret it correctly. Your mission cannot be hijacked. Your gifts cannot be confiscated. Your purpose cannot be permanently diverted when you stand in your rightful authority. The mission you steward is now irrevocably yours. Irrevocable means you do not have to keep proving it, defending it, or earning the right to be it. You simply inhabit it, like breath inhabits the body. Your active phase begins now. Before you scroll, Take a moment to declare your activation in the grid of service forming here. Drop one statement in the comments, which directive hit you the hardest, or what you're now ready to release, activate, or protect. Then respond to another Lightworkers declaration with recognition. This isn't content, it's collective mission activation. The Council witnesses those who speak their commitment aloud. If this transmission activated something in your soul, do not keep it to yourself. Another Lightworker in your orbit is waiting for exactly this correction and authorization. Share it. And if you felt the Elders speaking directly to you, subscribe. Stay connected to the Lyran field. You're not just watching, you're being commissioned. This is your sacred space. The High Council of Vega is witnessing you, and your mission has officially begun. If this transmission spoke to you, don't just walk away from it, respond to it. Help carry this message further. Every act of support helps this transmission find the next starseed who needs it.